I'm going to record. Okay, welcome everybody. It is Cinco de Mayo. I kind of forgot that. Cinco de Mayo. And my name's Christy Brune, and I live in Wichita, Kansas, and I am a global on this team. And we're going to start doing these little training calls once a week, just so you guys can plug in. We're also going to just kind of go over like the basics. But the basics are what? The most important thing, right? Because if you don't know the basics, what are you going to do? That's where it all starts from. So tonight, I really want to go over I want to ask a question. What is the best tool that you have as a health coach? What is the biggest thing in your toolbox, the best tool you have? Come on, somebody take a guess.
Your voice, talking to people.
True. And what is one of the first things you're going to tell people with your voice?
How excited you are.
Because you're exactly right. So it's your story.
Mm-hmm.
Your story is the most important tool you have. Because if you have a sucky story and you're not excited about it, how many other people are going to be excited about it that you're talking to? Zero, right? So that's where it all starts. So your story, there's actually a Prezi done on your story, and that's what I'm going to go over that. And just so you guys know too, on Dreamweavers, which is our coaching page on Facebook, right? At the very top of Dreamweavers, there's always going to be a pinned post. And that pinned post is going to have all this stuff like that you want to access very easily, but some people don't know it's even there. So if you're getting on your computer, you're going to see where it says pinned post. But if you're getting on with your phone or an iPad or some other tablet, you're just going to see this word that says pinned post. So you actually have to click on that. But that's where all these Prezi trainings is in this pinned post. So I was going to show you that, but I won't do that. So anyway, let's just talk about your story. It's your number one factor of success, okay? You want to, when you talk to somebody, you want to get to the point, you want to tell your story, and you want to keep it short. Because if you go on and on and on about, so-and-so, my friend on Facebook and their grandmother's uncle's sister, blah, blah, blah. They don't care about that, and you're going to lose them. You really want to keep it short. Hi, Pam.
Sorry. What's your feeling on kids?
I'm going to mute you because I can hear Bill. So you really want to keep it short. You don't want to tell how you met somebody on Facebook, how you saw it, how you ran into a friend at the shopping mall or anything like that. Nobody cares about that. You're going to think of it like 2 or 3 key points of how you felt before you started the program. So were you a busy mom, just crazy busy all the time and didn't really even have time to think about eating? And when you did eat, you just grabbed whatever the kids were eating? Were you tired? Were you hungry all the time? Maybe you were on medications. Maybe you were embarrassed, didn't feel comfortable in your own skin. Like, you have to go there emotionally, how you felt before the program. Because if you can put emotion into it, they're going to feel that coming from you. And they're going to connect with you on some layer, more than if you just, tell them. You got to feel it. And then I want you to think about 2 or 3 points, key points of how you felt after you started the program, right? Maybe talk about how easy it has been for you, how you've had more energy, you have less cravings, less hunger, and you're still losing weight. Maybe you've lost, you don't take as many medications as you did before. Those are huge. And you also want to share how much you've lost. So any questions about that? Kelly Grant, I'm going to pick on you.
Okay.
And I'm going to have you give them your story and it's going to be 2 minutes, 3 minutes tops. It's going to have emotion, and you're going to pick 2 or 3 key points before and 2 or 3 key points after. And here's something else too. When you're telling your story, you want to hear that wow from them, right? So whether it's how many pounds you lost, how many medications you got off, just whatever's happened for you, it has to come from that emotional place so that they go, wow, right? So let's wait and see. And Kelly has no idea I was going to call on her, so this is totally random. So thanks for being a good sport. And she's going to give us her story, and I want you guys to listen. And I hope she does a good job, or I'll just mute her.
Pressure is on.
Okay.
Okay, so, my story is that I have been overweight my entire life. I was one of the biggest girls in high school, and I've struggled since middle school to, have a weight that I felt comfortable at. I felt trapped in my body, and I did everything to try and lose weight. I did lose a lot of weight, and in 2013, I found myself back up to 231 pounds. I was miserable and on medications that I did not want to be on. So someone reached out to me about this program, and I have lost 72 pounds. And more than that, I have regained a lot of confidence. I'm so excited, and I am helping others get healthy as well. I don't know who's supposed to say the wow. Who's supposed to say the wow? I just kept talking.
You did. I would pause. You did. That was a great story, by the way. Thank you for sharing that. I would pause after that, and I've lost 72 pounds. Like, be dramatic about that. And then they're going to at least go, great job, or wow, right? Because that is a wow. Correct? I don't see any heads or anything. Everybody freeze. So that's where you're going to get your wow, okay? Or if you got off a bunch of medications or something like that. So just pause and let them say the wow. But that was good. Did you guys feel that emotionally, that she's always struggled? Did it kind of make you almost a little teary-eyed for her? Not quite? Okay, it did me. But that's really where you want to go, is you don't want to make them cry for you, but you want them to feel that, how you felt. Does that make sense? Any questions on that? Okay. Also, if you don't have a weight loss story, you still have a story. Okay? So just because you didn't lose 72 pounds doesn't mean you don't have a story. So my story is, I don't know if I can go there emotionally because that's a little more difficult. My story is that I've always had a passion for health and fitness, but never a way to help anybody. I taught fitness classes at the gym, and I researched to death about how to eat clean and stuff, because I've always struggled, not to the 72 pound point, but I've always struggled to keep it off. It's always, I grew up a Weight Watcher kid because that's what my mom did, and I could tell you how many points everything was. So I really wanted to help others, but I would make them meal plans because they would ask me what to eat and stuff, and nobody could succeed. And I just felt defeated. Like, I really want to help these people, but I don't know how. So that's why I found this program. And now my biggest success for me personally is my mom. She got reluctantly, but because I was her daughter, got on the program, and she lost 50 pounds in 4 months. But even more importantly, she got off 2 of her high blood pressure medications. And now I have a mom that's young. She's vibrant. She's living. She's making great memories with my kids. And that's what I wanted. So that's my story. So even though I don't have a big weight loss story, I don't know if you guys felt that, but I got tears in my eyes just saying it, just because it was really emotional for me to help my mom and to do that, because I don't, you don't want to lose your mom. So anyway, enough about that. So even if you don't have a weight loss story, so if you guys have coaches or anything, that come on board, just let them know they still have a story. Or let's say that you've lost weight. Maybe you've maintained for a while. Maybe you've gained some back. You know what? You still have a story. I'm going to mute this caller. Hang on. Because you have a story, because you can say, you know, maybe you did it as a diet the first time and didn't really plug into the support, didn't plug into the education piece. And this time around, you are. And you're taking it by the bull by the horns, and you're plugging into your coach. You're doing the habits of health. You know, you really understand that it's not just about the food, because the food is really just one of the tools that we have. It's the education and it's the support piece. So I just want you to know that no matter where you are coming from, you all have a story. Just make sure that you stick to, you know, this is how I felt before and this is how I feel now. Make sure that it's true. It comes from the heart. It's very authentic. Any questions about that?
I have a question, Christy Broom.
Yes.
So let's say that, for example, and this actually happened to me, but I want to hear what your answer is. Let's say that we struggle with our own
spot now. Okay, go ahead.
Let's say that we struggle with our own program, or, you know, maybe we aren't as excited about that original story. What do we do then if we, you know, feel like, oh, well, I'm not really as excited about that anymore, or, you know, maybe I've struggled a little bit and my coach is helping me and I'm plugged in, but what would you suggest about that?
Then I would suggest that you get with your mentor coach and get together and find what you are excited about, because there's something in there you're excited about. So even if, you know, you've lost weight, but maybe you're not to your goal, but you've maintained it for a while, and that's exciting. My gosh, you know, that you have to work with your mentor coach and find something that you are excited about. Or you could use, you know, a family member, someone that you helped, like I just shared about my mom. And your story is going to change throughout your coaching career. It's going to change, and so be ready for that. Does that answer your question, Kelly?
Yeah, I do. I was hung up for a while not knowing that my story could change, and that really helped to talk to you about that, and just wanted, you know, other people to know that your story can change and probably will.
Mm-hmm. Probably will. Yes, it will. It definitely will. Any questions about your story? Do you all understand, or do you get how important a story is? So let's just say, let me tell Kelly's story, but I'm not very excited about it. Yeah, I love this program. I lost 72 pounds. It's great. It's awesome. Are you guys excited about it? Do you really care? No. You have to really go there emotionally and work with your mentor coach and watch that Prezi number 3. If you haven't watched it, or you haven't watched it for a while, Prezi number 3. It goes over your story, and it's in Dreamweavers at the very, very top in the pinned post under the Prezi trainings. Okay? Something else I want to talk about before we get off, unless you guys have questions, is I want to talk about some red light thinking. Because we all have red light thinking at some time, and it happens to every one of us. So just know that and be prepared for that. And by red light thinking, I mean, given a situation, I'll use Kelly because she's unmuted. Like if I were to approach Kelly and she was over her 300 pounds or whatever that she was, and I was to approach her about the program because I really, really wanted to help her, my red light thinking in my head that I make up could say, there's no way I could talk to her. She's not going to want to talk to me, for one thing. She is going to hate me for bringing this up, and she might punch me. I have no idea. Right? Like I could scare the crap out of myself with all this thinking, right? Or to serve me better, because I just made that up, I could think in my head, I really want to help her, and she's not ever going to know what I do unless I tell her. So even if she doesn't really like me talking to her, what's the worst thing that's going to happen? She walks away. I hope I don't offend her. I really don't want to offend her. But what if she's down on herself? What if she feels really bad? What if she's in very bad health? What if I could help her? And I forget that I said this, but a long time ago, I've heard this before. Like, instead of thinking that red light thinking, what if I thought, you know what? What if she woke up that morning, and this doesn't have to be a God thing, but what if she prayed for someone to help her? And what if I could be that angel that opened her mouth and talked to her, and she did want my help? Now, which one serves me better? The green light thinking or the red light thinking? Both stories are made up in my head, right? Which one's going to make me talk to her? Not the red light. I'm running out the door, right? Or the green light of, you know what? I'm going to feel worse if I don't tell her, and she walks away and I'll never see her again. Because if I tell her, I've done my part. If she doesn't want it, that's on her. But at least I opened my mouth.
And I would say, Christy, it is scary. And, none of us would be sitting here if you hadn't opened your mouth and, said something to somebody. So, I like to think of it that way too, of you said something to your husband, who then came to me, and he really seriously stepped out of his comfort zone to come talk to me. And he had to do it several times. It wasn't one time. So, I get scared sometimes in talking to people, but I know that, most people that I've talked to at this point have been really receptive, and maybe not 100%, but if we don't do it, you just never know. And so I'm thankful that someone stepped out on a limb and talked to me. Like, that gets me a little bit teary-eyed, right? Like, that somebody cared enough about me to say something about this, and it didn't offend me at all. So, it is scary though. And I think that we do have to just kind of step into the fear and go.
Mm-hmm. Right. So now I would like to open it up, and I want somebody to share what's one red light thinking thing that just keeps coming back to them, so that we can help you overcome that. I know you all have one. Come on.
I just talked to Kelly about this morning, because my biggest deal now is to try to talk to people in public, because I've kind of gone through my contacts. I have some more to do, but I need to start speaking to people in public, because I don't get out much being a stay-at-home mom. And I told her today, my red light thinking, I guess, is I don't want to offend people, because you see so many people grocery shopping and watching what they put in their carts and just being judgmental and judging them, I guess, what they look like, and thinking I should say something, but you don't want to offend them. So, but we talked about how to get over that, and she suggested that what Kim did is I have a goal of telling 5 people today about what I do. Can you help me reach my goal, and introduce yourself, and basically do the yes script, tell them your story, and then get their email and stuff. And no, I did not do it today. I thought about it, but my kids are a little crazy at the store. We went well past nap time, skipped nap. So I didn't do it today, but it did seem a lot easier, rather than just saying, hey, can I share with you what I do, how I lost weight? And they might think, no thanks. but it's a goal for me to share with 5 people. Will you help me reach my goal?
Good. That's a good way. And something else too that I've done in a grocery store setting or out in public setting is I like to kind of test the waters. and see if they're even open to a conversation with me. So I may compliment them on their shirt, their shoes, their purse, whatever, their haircut, just something like that. And if they're receptive and warm and say, thank you or whatever, then at least I know that they're a somewhat friendly person and I know the door's open there to maybe have a conversation with them. But if they're cold, then in my head, I think, well, sorry about your luck. Because, if they're cold to you and you give them a compliment, I don't want you either to go into that and then think they're going to be nice enough to help you and do you a favor if they won't even accept a compliment. Like, that might not be such a good idea. So I like to kind of test the waters there. I would like to share one story with you because I think none of you know her. She's not a coach. But I was at the Riverfest. I think it was 3 years ago now. And we were standing in line, me and my husband and my daughter, or two of my daughters, I can't remember. We're standing in line waiting for a concert. And there was a heavier set lady in front of us and her husband. And we were just making small talk because we were in line. Well, so she was very sweet, very, very sweet. And she had her lawn chair with her. And she took it then and went and sat in the shade by herself while her husband saved her spot in line. And I knew it was because she was heavy and it was too hot and she was uncomfortable and she needed to rest her feet, right? Or her knees or whatever she hurt. So I took a deep breath and my two girls were there. Now I remember because I thought, okay, I need to show my girls what I do. So I walked over to her and I knelt down beside her. She, didn't know who I was before we were just chatting in line, but she was very sweet. And I just said, I know I saw you come over here with your chair. I don't remember exactly what I said, but this is something. I saw you come over here with your chair and, are you okay over here? And she's like, yeah, I'm fine. And I said, you're so sweet. I enjoyed talking to you in line and, at the risk of offending you, and I really hope I don't, I would like to tell you what I do. And she's like, okay. And so I told her that I help people, lose weight and get off medications. And I didn't know if that was anything. And do you know what she said to me? Thank you so much for caring enough to come over here and talk to me. Yes, I do want help. I do need help. And I got her email address, her phone number, her name, and everything. And she's a client. She struggles, but she's still with me. But anyway, so that's what, stepping out of your comfort zone to help someone else at the risk of them, red light thinking, oh my God, or green light thinking, why wouldn't she want to know what I do? I could help her, Anyway, I just wanted to share that story because hopefully that helps you guys. Any other red light thinkings that we can help? No one has red light thinking. Amazing. You guys are amazing.
I don't know. When you have people that are living paycheck to paycheck and barely even making it, and they're constantly struggling, that to me is a little bit of I don't know,
You're prejudging.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you happen?
Trying not to. Then one of them joined our challenge, which is good.
Mm-hmm.
I got her to do that because she does want to lose and stuff. And so we talked a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But I just worry because of how her financial situation.
That brings up a good point. I should post that video in Dreamweavers, and I'll do that when we get off. I met a girl at Go Global, and her name's Mindy, and I'll post that video. I posted it in my event challenge, so I don't know if you're not in my event. I don't know if you can see it or not, but she is a single mom, and she had no money. Like no money. Like she had to go, what did she say, sell things to buy her kids shoes. She had no money. But her kid, I think it was her youngest, doesn't really matter, didn't want her taking him to school anymore because his friends were making fun of him because he had the fat mom. And she said right then and there, I got to do something. So not only did she get on the program, but she's now a coach. And so financially, she's way better off than she was before. She's lost, I can't remember how much. She looks awesome, but I'll post that story because it's crazy good. And so don't, you know what? Don't think that in your head. You don't know. Sure, they may struggle, but what are they buying? They're eating something. Are they eating out every meal? Are they buying crap that's just making them unhealthy? When they could be buying stuff that they're going to eat anyway. They got to be eating something. Our meals are not expensive. They're a little over $2 a meal. So especially for people who eat out a lot, they're going to save money. Oh, here's a story for you. Sorry, I've been a coach for 4 years. I got stories. I had a lady call me and she said, okay, I heard about your program and I really, really need it, but I need to know how much it costs. So I went through the whole thing and she goes, I'm unemployed. There's no way I can afford that. No way. That's back in the day. So that was the first time I ever told someone, you know what? I said, I totally get it. And I said, I don't want you to, join, obviously, if it's going to make you go broke. Why don't you, just for fun, write down what you eat and how much you spend every day. And I said for a month. You could do it for a week now. I was new. And just have them times that by 4. But I did it for a month and just see. I go, maybe you're right. Maybe it'd be way too expensive for you. I go, but what if it wasn't? What if you're already spending that and you just didn't know it? I go, but count everything like coffees and candy bars and chips at the convenience vending machines, all that stuff. She called me on the 30th day of the next month and said, holy crap, I had no idea how much I was spending. This will save me money. And she signed up. So don't let that fool you, kids. People are spending money. And, it could be on cigarettes and alcohol too, and they need to get rid of those as well. So you never know. You never know. That was a good question. Good red light. Did I change that thinking for you? Barb?
Yes, I like the idea of telling them to write down what they're actually spending for a month, because quite a few people who I've had, I just can't afford that right now. I'm going to have to suggest that, write down what you're spending.
Maybe you can.
They probably are.
Yeah, maybe you can't, but do you want to just see?
Yep. Yeah, I like that. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, well, we went a little over, but I thought it was good. Do you guys have any other questions for me? Comments? Green lights blinking in your eyes? You're going to work on your story if you don't have that already perfected with your mentor? Get with your mentor? Okay. Good call, guys. Thanks for being on. See ya.